Hey everybody, welcome to another Ask Amy Q&A. Thank you so much for being here. I saw this Instagram post and I screen recorded it and I posted it again because it was so great. And I've heard it before, but for some reason, this really struck me enough to want to share with you guys in case you don't know about it. For those of you who used to come for readings with me at the Lighthouse bookstore, you are going to know this chart very well. And I'm going to put it up on the screen so you can see it better. David Hawking's map of consciousness is where this is from, where this derives from. And basically, you put out a certain resonance or vibration depending on what type of feelings that you're feeling. And if you look at the chart, the shame is at the very bottom. So you can see why the dark side tries to get you to feel shame all the time and not worthy and makes you feel guilty. Guilty is 30. Look at how low that is on the chart. If you're vibrating at 700, that's enlightened. In other words, that's our true selves. That's how God designed us. That's how we're supposed to be. That's our like base minimum is 700. It should be. Like by nature, that's who we are. If we are our true natural selves, then we're at least at 700. Okay. If you go down beneath 700, you've got demons dealing with you. Let's just put it that way. You've got the dark forces in control of you or causing you to act that way. So 700 is the base minimum for who we truly are, and that is enlightenment. So 700, if you are resonating at the 700 level, if you're vibrating at the 700 level, you counterbalance 70 million other individuals around you that are under 200 on that scale. Now 600, which is peace, which is what we experience when we're meditating and when we're just at rest, counterbalances 10 million under 200. Now, if you're at a 500 and joy is 540, but if you're at 500, which is love, it counterbalances 750,000 individuals around you under 200. Now, the vibrations that are under 200, if you look at the chart, it's pride at 175, anger, desire, fear, grief, apathy, guilt, and shame. Guess what 200 is? Courage. So when we act in courage, then we're more willing to do things like stay neutral in a fight. Be willing, where before we would have dug our feet in. Accepting. We become more accepting. We become more reasonable. And then go into those higher vibrations. So courage is the thing that has you sliding down this side or climbing up this side, going up. Well, actually, you kind of slide down into that too, because once you're willing and you're rolling with it and you're more accepting, and things just become a lot easier, a lot easier. But you have to have the courage to set good boundaries, to speak your truth, to decide to make the right decision, even though it may ruffle feathers. You know, everything weighs kind of on the helm of courage. You have to be courageous in order to feel all those good feelings, the good vibes. So isn't that interesting? Hi, baby. What are you doing? I got my babies here. 2 of them. How did I get so lucky? Hang on just a minute. So one of these guys has been riding a skateboard. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so yeah, I mean, that's how important monitoring your vibration is. So, and I think it's kind of cool to be able to bring up that old scale that I used to use in the lighthouse. You guys remember that? All right. And I brought that up a lot because of I wanted to show people how energy work and how vibration works and kind of show them the work that I do and how I remove negative energy out of people's bodies and negative emotions and things like that, because that's what causes physical ailments. So, um, yeah, physical ailments are caused by emotional elements. So when I'm clearing your field, when I'm pulling things out of your field, it's usually something emotional that caused whatever the issue is. What are you doing? We're getting played with today. Are we just a big toy to you? Is everything just a big toy? That's how life should be, right? Everything should just be a toy. I'm being drawn to the spirit cards. God, what is it that you want us to have in mind right now, to think about right now? Something's about to happen. When you feel afraid, do the deeper healing work around it rather than avoiding it. Yes, that's the key to courage. When you start doing healing work on things, then you start doing this type of thing. Like that's why it's easier to have courage, is because you see that moving through something gives you a breakthrough, an aha moment, and releases you and makes you more free. So you got to do the healing work to see that it is truly actually safe, to be courageous. Laugh at it all. Humor is the best medicine and your greatest weapon against negativity. So having a good sense of humor. And the more you do something like Byron Katie's work, the more of a sense of humor you develop. We are your biggest fans. We believe in you and know what you're capable of. So please stop doubting yourself and know that you can't mess up. You were born for this. Some of you really feel that. Okay, love and appreciate your body and circumstances just as they are. Change comes through radical acceptance. There might be a situation coming back into your life so that you can choose differently and pass the test this time. You have evolved past it. You just need to own it. So if you have something coming back around again that you feel like this again, then just remember that it's so that you can choose differently. So think about the way you handled it the last time and handle it differently, handle it more maturely, handle it considering the other person, being a better listener, whatever that is. Okay, so we're going to dive into these now. 6155. Oh, I got to get my thingy out. Okay, so there was a reason. There was a reason. I ended up getting Frank Sinatra's song "Three Coins in the Fountain" stuck in my head. And we are coming up on Valentine's Day, and I totally forgot. And it's so funny that I wore pink because I didn't mean to on purpose. Three coins in the fountain. Which one will get their Valentine? So maybe one of three people out there are actually going to be contacted by their masculine. And I just looked at Telegram. There are 3 notifications, and I've been seeing threes like crazy lately. So however that resonates for you, that might be a sign for you or confirmation, or yeah, who knows? But there seemed to be a reason behind that. Sorry for the peep show, everybody. Oh gosh, oh well. So I don't know if I have to read this over again, so I apologize if I'm saying this a second time and I don't need to, but we're gonna read her question again because my bra was showing. Hello, beautiful Amy. Okay, a couple months ago, I met someone and it's been very back and forth, a lot of confusion around this connection with him. The reason why he started to pull away is because he doesn't want to have any kids, and I do. But I feel like there's more than he's not saying. After 2 months, he came back around feeling bad for the way he ended things. I really like him a lot and feel that he might feel the same. He hasn't expressed how he truly feels about me, and he has been going very slow. The mystery is making me uneasy. What is he hiding? And does he actually want to be with me? Okay. I think it's kind of obvious he does want to be with you, but let me feel into this. And I say this because he's coming back around. Somebody who didn't care would just be out of there. And especially when it didn't sound like he was like mean to you or anything. So I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, and I do get a yes. He does definitely really like you. Is it true that it's because he doesn't want kids? I just gotta know. You're right. He's hiding something. Would he actually be open to having children? Yes, he would. Yes, he would. That's interesting. Let's get cards to confirm this because I want you to be like, we need to be sure. We don't want to play around with something like that and, just call somebody a liar. All right, God, is he is he willing to have children? Is this man that she's talking about that she's been kind of seeing? Is he willing to have children? Well, there's a child card. I think with the right person, if it was divinely guided. Oh, okay. Okay, so he's holding back until it's the right person. It's like there are a lot of opinions that would weigh in on that. He's trying not to worry about that. And look at that. He's sneaking away with the kid. He's getting his wife away with the kid. So I think it's a no, he holds back on that subject because of something happened. Maybe he has a crazy family and he knows how they would act with the kid. Or maybe everybody would be who knows? It's like he thinks that it would create a bunch of chaos or something. Um, and so he was waiting for like divine intervention to come in and balance the situation out for him to feel safe. And then it's like he's manifesting a new adventure. He'd want to feel like a little kid himself and come back into like, let that bring out the kid in him. So, yeah, I think he's definitely like he's looked out at that. He's looked out at the horizon and maybe even has missed some children in his life. So yeah, he definitely, well, I should have it this way. He's definitely been looking out at that subject like could be wish fulfillment with the right person. So I think his automatic answer might be no, I don't want to have kids just to kind of like fend off the rest of it or having to explain all of the rest of that. So I mean, people don't necessarily lie to be deceitful sometimes. They lie to it is deceitful, but it's like they're also kind of protecting their privacy for a bit until they feel like they can trust you completely, and then they might open up and share with you whatever has to do with the kids, whatever that issue is. And it's not the same for everybody. Some people don't feel comfortable talking about a certain thing that to somebody else would be like, why wouldn't you talk about that? That's kind of silly, Like, dude, I would talk about that all day long, every day. Like, that's nothing. So you just never know what somebody would be held back by in their own psyche. So I wouldn't necessarily fault him for that. And, I don't usually make excuses for lying. I'm just saying it doesn't make him a bad person that he held that back. What he should have said, what would have been more honest, though, is to say, I'm open to having children, but I don't want to be pressured into it. And it would have to be the right circumstances because I've had a lot of trouble in the past with that subject. And I can explain it another time when I feel like I know you better. Just being like that's the honest way to handle it. Um, and obviously, we can't make people act honestly. I mean, hopefully in the coming days, people will just do that. Everybody will just turn more honest when our world turns right side up again. But that time isn't here now. So I just don't think that we should be too quick to judge anybody right now. I think we should cut people slack. Not that you're judging him. I'm just saying he's definitely hiding something, but if you think about it, it's like he's just protecting his heart for now. So if you can gain his confidence and gain his trust, he would feel more comfortable to open up to you to tell you. And I do get a yes with that. So let me see if he'd be willing to, if like how willing he is to open up about that and like what that would take. Hapawa ashenje. I mean, it's on the edge of his tongue already right now. He already feels like coming back and apologizing to you was kind of in a way saying, I'd like to tell you, but I'm not quite there yet. Almost though. So does he wants to, I feel like, yeah, like he definitely wants to see you, definitely wants to date you, definitely wants to, I'm going to do a true love spread because okay, well, actually, I'm going to pick a couple of ghoster cards too. I wish you knew just how special you are to me. It kills me not to be able to tell you. You amaze me with your compassion and kindness through this time apart. I promise I'll make this up to you soon. So there's a future intended there. I'm very sick or someone close to me as I don't want to burden you with this situation. So I'm just taking care of it for now. Right. I've been living a double life and need to make some major changes to live a more authentic life. By the next time we talk next, I plan to be in a much better situation you can be proud of. So let's look at his spread. Maybe he's seeing somebody else. Maybe he already has a family and kids and stuff, and he doesn't want to have kids with somebody else. You know? Okay. I think we have to be open to and entertain just about anything nowadays. All right. Yeah, he has a lot of regret. He feels really bad about everything. In his heart, he wants to work with you, collaborate with you. He misses you. And he's like, yeah, look at that. He's thinking of a future with you, healing things. And these are the same cards you got for the answer about the children. So I think you got him thinking about that. He wants to be in integrity. He wants to beat out any competitors. He's trying to get the strength to bring you in from out in the cold and break free from something that's been holding him back. His overall energy is that he's like somehow imprisoned. He's imprisoned. He's like one of these poles is like, I don't know, secured to the wall there, and the other can move, but he's not sure which way he wants to go yet. And this is a card about becoming single and doing your own thing, doing what you want to do, traveling and things like that. So he's daydreaming about this and having his wish fulfillment with you. So, and yes, and look, that feels like a big yes to kids, to having kids. He's just afraid. He's afraid of something. So he definitely has feelings for you and he wants to tell the truth to you and he feels like you're a perfect match because you're the Queen of Cups and he was just the King of Cups, right? And guess what else is here? Courage. And we started off this video today talking about how courage is the thing that makes you start either going toward the bad or toward the good. Like a lack of courage makes you go bad direction, and working on having courage makes you go the good direction. He has regret, so he's been making bad choices, bad decisions, or did with you that he regrets. So he wants to, okay. He's making a judgment call to take this opportunity to heal with you, but it's also maybe making a judgment call to take the opportunity to break up with somebody else, possibly. Okay. And he wants to do it fast. He doesn't want to delay anymore. He might show up with an apology, a surprise apology, again. So, is it possible they have a future together? Is it possible they have a future together? I feel like it's really iffy. Is he with someone else? Yes. Well, he's definitely has somebody that still has his heart, I guess you could say. Somebody that kind of burned him. Yeah, well, I think if you were to hear the full story, you would understand. You would understand. I do feel that you're going to find somebody better than this, though. So they're saying don't give up hope. because when you get to that other person, that person is going to be like, what's that person going to be like? Yeah, like, I feel like you would have like cut him out of a magazine or cut him out of a picture somewhere and been like, this is my guy. Like, you're going to feel that perfectly suited to him. And looks like he works out a lot. Um, and he's just really kind, and sweet and funny. And yeah, I feel like you guys are going to laugh a lot. That's an indicator. That is an indicator that you found true love, is when the two of you can laugh a lot more than you fight. Is you can kind of slough things off and and come back to a place of love faster and easier. And karmic is more somebody that you'll fight with and fight with and fight with and fight with and tit for tat and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So I hope that helps. Yeah. Think he's either in another relationship or his heart is still healing from it. Oh, let me see what that says. Okay, no, it went way under there. Well, maybe I should really, since he's hiding something, let me go find it. Let's see what that is. Pause. Okay, I feel like you're too good for me. I'm afraid once you get to know me better, you won't want me and could find somebody better. All the masculines feel that. All of them. What I'm going through would burden you, and I don't want to add stress to your life. I'm protecting you from all the drama, so please trust me that I know what I'm doing. I plan to call or visit within a matter of weeks if all goes as planned. I'm having to do a lot to get ready and don't want you to know that I'm coming, so please just be happy. And well, there's another alluding to him surprising you. I would not expect him for Valentine's Day, just so you know. Um, Masculines they usually don't do that unless you guys are in union. They don't. They're too scared. They don't. So don't expect it. I would hate for all of you listening. Masculines don't do that. They do that in the movies, and man, it would be so nice if they would make that romantic gesture or come to the airport and catch you before you leave or whatever. But it's very rare that you actually see nowadays any masculines actually do that. They really just I can't even think of the last time anybody's ever done something like that I've even heard of or had in my own life. So unless they're in a relationship, unless they're in the relationship already, they don't. And that's usually because it's easier or because they have a lot of pressure from the person. So they're people pleasing. It's not usually genuinely from the heart because they're desperate to express their love for you, because they've been hiding it so long, and because they've been scared that you won't like them once you get to know them better. They're just not going to do that. I wish they would. Oh my God, would I have an incredible story to share with you guys. But I don't know. If you guys have a story like that, I would love to hear. But masculines they're usually too scared to go toward their feminines. Not even in a big old thing of courage, like a big valiant, like, let me give it a try. So please don't expect it, you guys. Don't expect anything from Val, and especially any kind of romantic gesture or anything like that is not gonna happen. They're way too scared. Okay. So yeah, if they can't pick up the phone and talk to you, I doubt they're gonna do something even more courageous. Okay. So, and if your masculine does do something, please let me know, because I would really love to hear that. Okay. Octopus, 6156. Okay, let me get up my magnifying glass. Hi, Amy. Could you do a clearing on? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Okay. Or a med bed. Okay. On our mutual friend. Whatever spirit says is appropriate to helping her. Yeah. and with God's permission, of course. Okay. So this is what we call an innocent, and it's an elderly person that this person um kind of keeps an eye on, who's got a lot of elderly people have bad kids. So not all of them, but a lot of them do, that even put curses on them and all kinds of things to make them struggle or whatever. So we're going to try to clear that right now. And this is also going to help those of you who have elderly parents or elderly grandparents or whatever the case may be. We're going to help the innocents. We're going to actually cover, yeah, let's just cover the elderly right now. Okay. So whenever I do these questions, whenever I answer these questions for you, I also cover anyone in a similar situation or circumstance. So that's my intention with these things. I'm not just helping the one person who pays for these questions. I'm helping everybody in the whole world with these issues. So whatever I work on with her is going to be working on your grandparent or whatever, if it's a similar situation. So I don't want to get too into the details, because I don't want to give anything away to anyone who might be listening that's nefarious. So we're going to keep the privacy to a minimum. All right. Or keep the privacy to a maximum. All right. Oh, wow. She took a blow on her feminine side. And I mean, it looks like a bang to the head, but actually it could just be words from somebody like somebody who's acting like a mother to her, somebody who's acting very motherly, and it's negative. So somebody may have like verbally bashed her. Somebody may have, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully she didn't hit her head or get hit in the head. พวกมามาชิชินชิโกจานเซว่าอะไรสันสิกิเทนทอไอเกโอ้ Hi. Toshin, that's better. Tua mama tanta say, I'm taking care of those people. Whoever did that, whoever this voice is, or whoever hit her, I'm taking care of her. Tua papa, say, Shikita hana ai. Wawa ana sa ai ke she. Oh. And as you guys know, those of you who've been watching me for a while, when I release energy, I yawn. Those it's not because I'm tired. I've heard comments like, you should go take a nap. That's interesting. What's happening there? Hmm. Hmm. It's like she's wanting to keep her pants on, like wanting to keep her, I don't know if she's wearing diapers or what, but she's wanting to keep them on. So maybe somebody's changing her, that they're kind of aggressive about it, or they don't like it or something. It's kind of like, let me keep my diapers on, let me keep my pants on. Because I don't like the way you touch me. I don't like the way you treat me. I don't like how you wipe me or whatever it is. And I get a yes. I'm going to give a warning to make somebody feel incredibly uncomfortable if they go touch her anywhere down there with any kind of disrespect. It's going to be a big slap on the hand. Tuso sempre why she na atatenza ai. Wa kena. Chichi wa son se pien wa akin tatei. So son she lo on. Tatatanza she la kitatenza pua eke. Turanta shushi shinki tanantain. Wala sa only a gentle, loving hand can go there. Pua pa mama shin. Tarasa se la wahana sa. Papa pama tanta sasha shake tona tatain. Hua wa and tasa she pua pama o ansa. Turuton katan sa shika papa. Tanto se sai, hai. Tutto tanto se shishi, papa, mama, hi, gay. Toto se shishi. Oh, oh. She loves the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow. If you ever want to surprise her with that and show up and play that for her, she'd probably cry. Because I see her like clicking her heels 3 times with her ruby slippers. So I think she wants out of there. I think she just wishes that she was in a different situation and or with better company. I mean, she loves when you're there, obviously, but wishes you could be there all the time. And I know, don't feel bad about. I know you're feeling bad about this. Don't feel bad about this though. You can only do what you can do. You only have so much control. So, well, I'm gonna do a blissing to get you there more. I know I've done it before, but it doesn't hurt to do more. Baba, shishin chakitatan se poha eke. Hela pama na shishin katatsan se kwai na aheke poha ma anta se she. Do you guys have a camera in her bedroom? I think that would be a good thing. But a camera that I was going to say camera that the staff can actually access would be good. So I don't know. I mean, I know there are cameras, but is it the family's cameras or is it the staff's cameras? Papa ma shishin chipua okay. Ala sasin ketatain. Okay, I'm going to be quiet for just a moment. I want to hear how she's being talked to for a minute. I think it's more of a well, not only is it black magic, but it's like being aggressively handled. I don't think she's putting her down or yelling at her, or I don't really see that. I see more like shoving, pushing, stuff like just attitude, big time attitude, and not careful with her. She probably got bruises all over her, I would imagine. Mishandled. She's being mishandled, is what Spirit just said. Aggressive mishandling. Yeah. Yeah. I think they're mad that she got better. She's yeah, she was this gal did a testimonial on my Instagram recently, for my Instagram. And this gal did a big turnaround. Every time I work on her, she shows some kind of like da da da. I love it. Oh, you go, girl. You go. Fight for that. Fight for that. I just wish that she could get away from those guys. So I'm gonna pray right now that everybody in a situation where like all elderly people who are trapped in situation with bad people, bad caregivers, bad family members who are not treating them right can get in the right hands. Oh, wow, there are a lot. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's Shushin Shima Anatariki Nahi. Tasha Shinji wa ana ake. Taton Satsen se laan. Shusho Pwa Mama Ana da Tensa se la wa she Shinji ina tahi ke en. Pwa oke she Shinji. Tasa sen Pwa Ma Ana Taraina. It's okay to feel sad and to be upset about something, but you can't let it get in the way of what you're doing, if you know what I mean. So, yes, I want to cry about it right now, but I want to get the job done. So, I just felt like somebody needed to hear that, because some of you, when you get caught in a moment like I just had, like caught up in the moment of like just really feeling like just wanting to crumble and cry. And it's okay to do that as long as you complete the job. I pushed through and I kept doing the clearing and I got these guys away from them energetically. So it should stop showing up in the physical world. At least for a lot of them. It's going to get them in a better situation with better people handling them. So, but I think some people would have stopped at the emotional part and would have just like walked away or not wanted to face it or whatever. And I know that we're in these times when we're going to find out some crazy stuff. And it's going to be really tough for some people to handle some things, but we got to push through whatever we feel, whatever negative emotions come up, and we have to do the right thing. Keep praying. Use that courage. Use that courage to push through and protect these guys. I can have a good cry after this. And I will. There's going to be some incredible miracles up ahead. Really incredible miracles. So that we have to look forward to. Okay. Let's get to our next person. Well, I guess another way of looking at that too is don't stop doing blissings on her. Just because it breaks your heart every time you have to hear that, keep doing blissings on her. Keep fighting, guys. No matter how hard something is to swallow, keep fighting the good fight, and you will be rewarded for that. All right. A shark. It always makes me want to sing the Baby Shark song. Okay, 6158. 6158 is a shark. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Hi, Amy. Please, can you advise me on my main blocks for stepping up into a higher reality? I'm aware that big things are coming up, and I'd appreciate any information or guidance for moving forward with strength and clarity for the next chapter. What do I need to know at this time? I resonate a lot with your readings. Thank you. You're welcome, and I'm glad. Yeah, let me see what comes up for you. I feel like pulling a spirit card. Ask more questions to gain clarity about this instead of judging or assuming. So I just heard better listener, being a better listener. Um, uh, as a society, I think that we've been so quick to jump to conclusions. And if you want to watch my last Ask Amy Q&A, I think I do go into detail about being a really good listener, not cutting people off, assuming anything. I did a really good video on something that I learned in a customer service class a long time ago, but I think the name of the video is like how to be an effective listener or something. Put in some of those words in YouTube with my name and it should come up. But and we also get to pigeonholing people, which means that we think that they're going to be the same way all the time. Every time we go to interact with a particular person, we think that they're going to be this way or that way, and we treat them accordingly. But people do evolve, people do change, and people do get better, and people do, like, you don't want to, it's like sometimes they're a fragile flower and they've been working on themselves and they've been making themselves vulnerable. And then they have to go out and practice it. So they go and practice with you because they feel you're a safe space. But if they go to you and you say, oh, this is your typical such and such, and if you have an attitude with them, then you're going to shut that little flower down and crush that flower. So we have to be really, really careful how we treat people and let there be a pause before our reaction, and try not to react, but to respond with kindness and be in our heart space when we talk to anyone so that we don't make the problem even worse. Um, so ask a lot of questions. Is this what you mean when you say that? Because that's what it seems like. And not from a defensive way, but like a curious, investigative kind of way. Like, let's discover this together. Let's dig deeper than this. Like, and why would that scare you? What about that scares you? That's one reason I always encourage you guys to do Byron Katie's work, is because it really stretches your mind. It really stretches you to see things from a much more self-aware perspective. You start to say, well, this, sometimes you'll get like a repetitive, stressful thought over and over and over. And it's like, I'm constantly dealing with my husband and how mad I am at him and blah, blah, blah. And it's the same thing over and over. Well, that's because you're not going deeper with it. So what is it that's underneath that? Why does that get you so upset? Oh, well, because if he were to do such and such, then he's rejecting me. And what if he rejects you? What about that? What's wrong with that? Oh, well, if he rejects me, then I'm a loser. Okay, so you're a loser. So what's threatening about that? Well, if I'm a loser, nobody will like me. And if nobody likes me, and you keep going down, like Byron Katie's work makes you exercise that muscle to where you can dive a lot deeper and pull it up, really pull it up by the roots. So I feel like that's one of the things, is that I feel like a quick reaction sometimes. So try to pause before your reactions and don't like almost dissect every single word somebody says in a way, because they may mean something totally different than the way you're reading into it. So let there be a lot of leeway, a lot of grace to ask questions like, what do you mean when you say you don't feel safe? What exactly does that look like to you? What would safe look like, and what does unsafe look like? Ask questions like that. Clarify, 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 I just heard. Okay. What else? Also being willing to learn, because it feels like sometimes it's like you play ping pong with people a bit. Like they might have some valuable information they want to give you, and you'll hit the paddle, hit the ball back like real quick, like boom, boom, boom. It's almost like you're blocking the information from coming through. So consider that the person who's saying whatever they're saying, that they could be right or valid to some degree. Maybe not completely, but always walk away from a situation and say, are they right in some way? Like, is there some way that I could make them right? Because these things are coming into your life for a reason. They're like, there's these little golden nuggets to give us hints and clues that are trying to help us go to the next level. I bet now I can. Did you change it? Yeah, they're saying sometimes you put yourself like in a box and you don't let anybody in. Open mind, open heart. So I would just, I mean, putting it the most basic I could, do Byron Katie's work. Do Byron Katie's work, because it's definitely going to help you with all of it. It'll help you exponentially but do it every single day the way that I teach on my channel. So put in the words Byron Katie and my name and watch those videos. There's 2 of them. That doing that every single day for about 2 months is going to really, really shift your perspective, and you'll get to be to where you welcome criticism, all criticism really, because if you get triggered, then you appreciate it, and then that'll be your next day's lesson. You'll sit down with it and analyze it, but you always get something really good out of something bad. All things work together for good. So, and then it'll help you lighten up. It'll help you investigate better. It helps you in every way to heal exponentially, but you got to do it right. All right. I feel like pulling another card. Oh, two cards came out. Isn't that funny? The two cards actually talk about the same thing. Stop talking about negative things in your life and start only talking about what you're grateful for. Take your complaints inside to hash out in the stillness of your heart. Now, that take your complaints inside to hash out in the stillness of your heart is Byron Katie. That's one way to do that. So that's one really good way to do it. Because when you start doing Byron Katie, you'll stop complaining to your friends, going over here and saying, this thing sucks about my life. That thing is wrong about my life. And you'll just bring it to paper. And it's so much better on paper to hash out on paper because nobody gets hurt and you don't I was going to say expedite or exponential. You don't create more of the negativity because when you talk to other people or you vent or you blah blah blah, you're spreading it. You spread that negativity to those around you, and there's just on that vibrational scale, your vibration is going to be there. So just go take it to paper, hash it out, and you're going to be lifted. You're gonna come out of that. And then this other card says it's not about always being positive. Negativity is just still part of having an ego, letting demons play with your head. It's about catching yourself being negative and picking yourself back up again as quickly as you can. So that's one thing that, yeah, you don't get down on yourself either when you mess up and when you complain and when you gossip or whatever. Always come back to your hand on your heart and just be like, I love you even when you're angry. I love you even when you get frustrated. I love you even when you're talking bad about the things that are happening in your life. I love you when you're, whatever it is, just love yourself through that. Um, and have that kind of unconditional love for yourself. Cut yourself slack. Cut yourself slack. And because if you don't, then you're not going to, you have to love yourself in order to love others. And if you're always giving yourself a hard time, you're going to give your partner a hard time too. So it's really important, and everybody else in your life. You're much more judgy of other people if you're judging yourself. So learn to let it go, slough it off, and have grace for yourself first and foremost, and then you'll start seeing it in other people as well. Okay. There's a card sticking out over here. You've got some things repeating in your life so that you can choose differently and pass the test. They're saying that you've evolved more than you realize. But when you have these things trigger you over again, it's like you get stuck in a loop all over again. Instead, you have to stop and ponder for a moment. There's a lot in your answer about stopping and pondering. So stop and ponder for a moment. Well, this is coming back around again, and I know I'm not still that person that I used to be. So what does the new me decide to do in this moment? Ask yourself that. How do I prove to myself that I'm different? What different response can I have to this situation than normal? And when you have that different response, then the situation doesn't come back around anymore. So, okay, I hope those help. And yeah, it's important that we work on those emotional things first, and then the energy can release itself from its hold on our bodies. Hasasesa why na ai kena po mama ake chin why la an san sepien. Whoa, okay. Ooh. So anybody in this situation, including her, I'm clearing that out of your field. I'm giving you a chance to respond differently, resetting your neurotransmitters that are those automatic negative reactions to things. Pim 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 not a chain. Oh. And I'm making you open to exploring and navigating with grace. Okay. A hermit crab. And I just posted something on Instagram about hermit crabs and how important they are to our ecosystem. I don't know if you guys or some of you are looking for a passion project or something. Maybe you can protect the hermit crabs because they're walking around with bottles. Everybody's stealing the shells off of the beaches. So they walk around they don't have anything else to hide in or to make a home. So they've been found in bottle caps and things. It's really sad. And it's heartbreaking. There's a guy that walks around to all the beaches he can find and he brings shells back. Or he I don't know where he gets his shells, but he takes shells to them and gives them back to the hermits. Maybe from people that give them up. Maybe he asks people to mail them in or whatever, and they get mailed in and then they get back to the oceans. So try not to pick up seashells from the shore because it's helping hermits have a home. Okay. Somebody needed to hear that. They're beautiful. Take pictures of them, but you don't need to take them home and take them away from those sweet little hermit crabs. Okay, 6159. Let's see here. Oh, never mind. That was a private true love check-in. All right. Boop. 6160. 6160. Okay. Hi, Amy. Could I please have a true love check-in? Oh, she wants one too. We are in communication and usually see each other at least, let's see here. See each other at least a couple times a month. He seems to be slowly opening up to me more and sharing things about his karmic, who he's been with for 17 years, long before he and I met. He's always been firm that he's not prepared to leave her. I stay neutral and I don't push. One of the things he shared was that he recently came home to find she had put up a door camera on their home to track when he comes and goes while she's at work. Clearly she must know about us. She's really got him wrapped around her finger and he jumps at her beck and call. I'm wondering if she's doing black magic on us because the last few weeks I've been suddenly feeling very sick and often it feels like I'm being suffocated or choked out of nowhere. Wow. This energy feels very dark and heavy. Any insights you might be able to provide would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Okay. So, okay, so I am going to, I don't think you need the true love check-in because you already know that he loves you because he's talking to you twice a month. I'm going to protect you from the black magic. Okay. And yeah, she is doing black magic. Now, just to clarify for you guys, black magic doesn't necessarily mean doing voodoo or doing any kind of spell work or anything, any of that. And you don't have to be a witch also to do black magic. There's a lot of misnomers about that. Black magic can be being just very pissed off and angry and dwelling on something a lot. That can cause things to happen to people too. So be careful. That's also a good reason to keep your vibration high so that you don't inadvertently hurt somebody that you're very upset with. Heal that stuff. Don't let that go unhealed. Okay. I do feel she knows about you guys. Because he thinks about you. It's like the karmics know because the masculines stare out the window thinking about their divine feminines, the ones they're supposed to be with. So they know, they can tell, and they don't like it because they want to have control over their masculines. It's the same thing that what's happening to our with our, the people who are trying to control us in our world. I gotta be careful. It's really the same thing, The karmics want to use them for what they want to use them for, then throw them away. But they want to ride it as long as they can to get all the good kudos and the pats on the back and the money and whatever they can get out of it. So they want to look good when they get out. They want to get out unscathed. So they will do all that they can to keep you dumbed down and to keep an eye on you and spy on you and all that stuff. So huama shishin chipuapa natsa sensei again. Oh, Taike. He needs to, not that you can tell him this, but he needs to put his foot down. He needs to put his foot down about that. Yeah. She needs to just be able to ask him, where were you today? And him tell the truth. So if they don't have that, then why are they even in a relationship? You have to be able to trust your partner. Apa wa ana sa senchi change wa akehena an. Papa mo uma na tarata tata sa seshi oh oh oh. Yeah, she thinks you guys are like together in a relationship. She thinks it's a full blown affair. Tutunze pio he na shishinche kina tatunze sen po again. Tua. Ah. He's like she's put you guys together like in a cocoon, and she's like cursing the both of you. So I'm separating you guys out. And I'm taking the cocoons off. Wah 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 ha. I'm cleaning you guys off of all the black magic. And I'm also going to put the black magic back on her for responsibility, like giving her having God give her some kind of a slap on the hand for doing that. There's like in a situation like that, everybody's living a lie. So you probably shouldn't talk to him till he's done with that relationship, I would say. Nobody should be doing any kind of sneaking around. It doesn't help the situation. It does not help the situation. It makes you hurt. And you need to, when we were talking about the scale at the beginning of this video, you're the one that counterbalances whatever negativity is going on. This is your counterpart. So if they're going through this negativity, you over here in this happy vibe need to pick it up. But if you guys are in the muck together, in the middle of a shitstorm like this, then it's all polluted, So you've got to anchor him over here, staying in the good vibration while he's in the shitstorm, so that you can lift him up out of that situation. You're going to keep him in there as long as you guys keep talking about the situation and making it more drama. And then she's sensing it. She may even smell you on him or whatever. So, I mean, that's just my suggestion, is nobody should be sneaking around about anything. It means that you're living a lie. It means that you're not being honest, and it means you're not living within your integrity, or you're not being authentic. So if there's anything like that going on, you need to let it be contaminated over here, contain it, and tell him, I'm going to respect you and your marriage, and I'm going to stay over here and mind my own business and stay in this high vibration dance and know how to lift myself up. It's hard. Yes, it's hard not having interactions with your masculine. Yes, it's hard doing everything by yourself. Yes, it's hard when you know they're in a really shitty situation. Yes, it's hard, but it grows you. If you can learn to just keep focusing on yourself, boosting your own self-awareness, becoming more grounded, becoming more mature, growing in every way, shape, and form in every aspect of your life, is going to buoy him. It's going to make him rise to the top. And if she wants to stay down in the muck, she can, but he will eventually love himself enough to get himself out of that situation. And once he gets out of that situation and he's got enough self-worth to do that, then he's coming for you. And then you guys can live that happy life. Not a fairy tale type of life that's perfect, but one where both of you are mature, both of you come from the heart, you treat each other with respect, there's kindness, compassion, loyalty, all the good stuff that you'll want. So yeah, stop coming down to his level, I would say. Stop coming down to his situation. Stop coming down to the drama. Lift yourself up out of it and you'll take him out of there. All right. 6161. And we have a little crab. Okay, bitty. I want to know if my divine counterpart sent a question into Ask Amy Q&A, what would his question be and why? That's funny. I love that question though. All right, what would his question be and why? Why do you want me? So I think he knows he's a bit, but they all feel this way. All I'm grouping them all together, you guys, because it's just true. It's just true. The divine masculines. Now, if you want to know the definition of a divine masculine, it's not a gender thing, guys. Please put that out of your head. It's not having to do with male or female at all. Even in same-sex relationships, it's the same thing. There's going to be a feminine and a masculine. There are videos. I have a whole playlist all about true love. Please go watch those videos to learn more. There's especially a video called The Different Types of True Love. Look for that video, find that video and watch that, and you'll learn a lot more about this. But yeah, the divine masculines, they don't feel worthy in the separation phase. When they're apart from their divine feminine, they feel more and more and more shame. And where is shame on the vibrational scale? It's at the very bottom of the vibrational scale. So to bring them up, we have to be at the very top of the scale. We have to be at 700 to make up for their being at a 30. Guilt and shame are like 20 and 30, I think it was. So as low as you could possibly get. And that's where the masculines are when they are, and guilt. Guilt is the major feeling that masculines are in. Shame and guilt and all of that, that's all about the people pleasing and not living authentically. All of that, so lower vibrational. So while they're in that energy, and they may fluctuate, they may go up and down the scale. They may feel peace one minute and then go down here. They're going, oh, they're just exhausting themselves, going up and down that scale. But until they're in the higher bracket, until they get the courage at that 200 mark, until they start getting the courage to start climbing up there and staying at these higher vibrations, which involves getting rid of, stop listening to the ego, which is negative artificial intelligence, which is demons, essentially. It's negative forces. They are all of those lower vibrational things are negative forces to you. It's not you. It's not you that's thinking that. It's not you that's doing that. It's not you that's feeling guilty, masculines. That's not you. So start to catch a clue about that. And it was so great. Somebody told me that they just recently had they've been teaching this to their kid. So their kid was really upset and was watching this movie and said, I don't know why, but I feel really sad during this movie. And her mom was smart enough to say, well, honey, if you can't think of why you would be sad, then something must be giving that energy to you of sadness, right? And then she was like, I think so, Mom. And then she says, well, just decide that that's not your feeling and that's not yours. You don't want that, and get in your heart, put your hand on your heart and get in a loving space, and you chase that sadness away. You don't want it. And she did, and she got happy and she kept watching the movie and enjoyed it. So it's a lesson for all of us. If a kid can learn it and it's helping this kid to be able to, think of what this kid's going to be able to do. being aware that their negative feelings are not theirs. I mean, they're going to grow leaps and bounds in this world because they're not going to listen to that. They're not going to listen to it. Anyway, as long as the masculines are listening to that voice, that's where they're going to reside. They're going to be in that lower vibration. And why does he feel that way? Because he's got horrible habits. And because because he sees you, okay, I could even speak for all the feminines. They see the divine feminines as more advanced than they are, and they are, but there's a reason for it. It's by design. They're more advanced right now, but once the masculines catch up, then sometimes they surpass the feminines. Sometimes they're teaching the feminines a thing or two. So it's not about a permanent thing. It's just while they're in this phase, they're going through all the ugly stuff. But the feminine started there and rose up the levels, just like the masculines. They just got there first. So the masculines are automatically going to feel like, oh my gosh, she just like bounces on the lily pads where I get stuck in the mud and get it all over me, And so they have to have something to strive for. They've got to have something that's higher than them that they can like strive to be like. They've got to have some kind of mark out there that inspires them, a muse, something that gets their creative juices flowing, makes them think outside the box, makes them see their reality more honestly, more authentically, helps them live more authentically. The feminines are such an inspiration to these masculines. Even for you feminines, it's not all in vain. If you don't get to be with your masculine or masculines, plural, if you don't get to be with whoever you don't get to be with, it doesn't really matter because you've touched all of their lives in a very special way. You will ultimately end up with somebody who's perfect for you, or a life that's perfect for you. You'll be happy because it's inevitable. You're going higher and higher and higher. And we're all going up to the 5D. Well, not all of us, but those of us who are watching this channel most likely are all going up to the 5D. So cut them slack, know that they're in a different place than us, and that's just what they do, until they get more self-esteem, they are really afraid. And they're afraid you're going to see right through them. But what's really funny about that whole thing about seeing through them is, yeah, we see through them. We see through all the baloney, but that just means that we see all the lies. That just means we see the demons. And just like with that little kid, we'll be like, is that really your feeling? Or do you think that's a demon playing with your head? Oh, yeah, I guess that's a demon. Oh, yeah, I don't have that feeling. And then, the feminine will be like, do you think maybe it's your coworker? Because your coworker acts like that sometimes. Oh, I was taking on his energy. Oh my gosh. Is that so scary? The way they think it's going to be is, oh, I see you and I see those ugly traits in you. You're out of here. That's not what the feminines would be like with their masculines. They would see it and help him see through it. They would actually help them. They're not going to put up with some behaviors that are just outright, like too much drinking, too excessive drinking, pornography, that kind of stuff. That would ruin your relationship. The feminines are smarter than that. The karmics will let you get away with it because they'll use it as like a bartering piece. Oh, well, you do this thing, so I get to get away with this thing over here. It's all bargaining. So the feminines definitely call the masculines up to a higher life, for sure. And they all, when they get to the point where they get to be together, they're like ironclad solid together as a couple. They're like, that's the power couples that we're going to be having come together soon. So it's kind of exciting. And they needed to go through all that boot camp to be the man that you would want, and you can be the woman that he has always wanted too. You guys are like each other's dream come true, with your faults. But like I said, it's easier because you can discuss things logically and calmly and from the heart. There doesn't have to be fighting and wars and plates crashing and stuff, or shaming, or all that ego stuff. So It's not, the masculines have to get away from feeling like they have to achieve a certain goal in order to be worthy of her. If they can just tell the truth from their heart, they'd be fine. No matter, I mean, I don't care if a masculine was living in the gutter and he was drinking like crazy and, pumping himself full of drugs and just had the worst situation possible. If he just one day decided to throw it all away and just walk away and go tell his feminine, I love you more than anything in the world. I've thrown everything away and there's nothing going to stop me from loving you. And I was doing drugs and I was drinking alcohol and I was doing all these things. And there you have it. And here I am. That feminine, with him not having a dime or anything, would absolutely, if she'd seen a true turnaround and she saw his sincerity, that's all it takes. So masculines listening to this, all you need to be with your dream girl, truth, honesty, integrity. Live your truth, say your truth. That's it. And you could tell all the bad stuff. I mean, truth doesn't mean that you're doing all good things. Truth means, hey, I lied, I did this, and I did the other. What happens in romantic comedies? They always admit some kind of lie. I lied to you about this because I was afraid you would judge me. I lied to you about that because this, da, da, da. And then what happens? It all gets fixed. It all gets righted. That's all the feminines are asking for. They're not asking for money. They're not asking for all the stuff that the karmics ask for. They don't want jewelry. They don't care about all that stuff. They just want you to be in your heart space. That's it. No matter how broken you think you are, none of that matters. None of the past matters as long as you show up completely authentic. So if you're going to work on something, don't work on your money. Don't work on an impressive job, an impressive card, any of that. Just work on being honest with yourself and those around you. Try that on for size. First and foremost, be honest with yourself. What's truly going on here? What's really going on here? And then facing that, facing those close to you, and then acting from that place of taking care of yourself and loving yourself and putting yourself first. When you start doing that, everything starts falling into place for everybody involved. So, yeah. So I hope that helps somebody listening today. All right, you guys, let's do the general light language blissing. I'm going to do a little seahorse. I hope you guys do have a nice Valentine's Day, whatever you end up doing, even if it's not with your masculine. All right. So just relax, drop your shoulders. Ba ma ma she shen she ke ta tan za wa I he la an. Chi chen che hua ke tan se te no tro ta ta na. Chi chi chen chen pom pom o ma na ta ki ta se sa sa. Ha wa a na she shen chen chen da po 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 I ke he la a. He se sen ta ta tan da ta po ma pa 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 na ta ken. She po pom ha ma ana ta kin ta ta in. Hawa I shen. Okay, guys, to ask a question in the next Ask Amy, all you need to do is go to the website, awakenedalliance.org, go to the services tab, go down to Ask Amy, and you submit your question or questions there. It's $33 per question. And yeah, have yourselves a beautiful weekend, and hugs to those of you who are in the chat live with me. I appreciate you guys being there, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.